Good afternoon. My name is David Segura Sequeira, and this is a research dedicated to create a map of the distribution range of the red-fronted parrotlet, Touit costaricensis, and evaluating the protection of it in Costa Rica. So this bird is an endemic cetacid to Costa Rica and western Panama, and it's poorly studied because of the limited access that exists to their known range, but mostly because of their silent behavior, which makes them go unnoticed to scientists and birdwatchers. Out of this gap of knowledge, we created the Touit Project, which is dedicated to generate natural history data and to evaluate the conservation status of the bird, identifying threats to their populations, and in the future, we can start to create and implement plans for their protection. In this first step of the project, we created a species distribution model for Costa Rica to identify the best places to look for them based on environmental features. So our methods consisted in creating a model with the Maxent software, using information of sightings of the bird, an elevation model for the country, precipitation and temperature data, and finally the NDVI index, which measures the quantity and quality of the vegetation of a place. Once the map was created, we selected hotspots that stand out and interpolate them to shapes of protected areas to get an approach on how much land is under protection. As a result of this process, we obtain a distribution model with an area under the curve of 0.84, indicating that it's got a good performance, and it showed that the vegetation index was the environmental factor that contributed the most to the creation of the model, with a 45%. In figure number 1, you can see how there are 3 different hotspots for these birds in Costa Rica. We put red dotted lines around them, and it turned out that 57% of their areas are protected either by national parks or by private reserves. So we can conclude out of this that the parrotlet distribution is determined by the presence of mature forests mostly. And there are good news based on this, as most of the surrounding areas of the hotspots that are identified in the map conserve the biggest patches of this kind of landscape in the country. On the other hand, in the northernmost hotspot there exists poor connectivity with the one of the center of the map, and this could increase a risk to the bird populations of this region to be exposed to several threats such as the loss of habitat and an increased exposure to human activities. Finally, this first step of the project provides the most reliable areas to start our work from now on, creating intensive monitoring programs to generate data aimed to protect the red-fronted parrotlet. Thank you.